Hi, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Now, I'm Vicki Todd with Vicki World Art, author of my visual memoir, Unstuck, One Heroine's Journey of Art and the Courage to Live on Purpose. Now, this book is a visual memoir, meaning that I use some of my visual diary portraits to tell the story of identifying and reclaiming my purpose of art, which I discovered at the age of 47 via meditation. Art had always been this part-time hobby that was just kind of shoved to the back burner. So when I started meditating, I found that no, art is really the purpose for my life, and I'm supposed to use it along with my writing and speaking and my art workshops to help inspire you to identify, reclaim, and live your purpose to have a life of more joy. So my Honor Your Purpose art project is a triptych, meaning 3 panels. And so in the first panel, I will ask you to go back to your childhood and look at those activities that really made your heart sing and time fly, because those are breadcrumb clues to what your purpose is. So if you are like me and totally clueless and have no idea what your purpose is, going back to your childhood is a great place to start. Or if you know what your purpose is and you're feeling like you need to evolve, going back to your childhood is a great exercise, because you may say, oh wait, I totally forgot about that activity. Why aren't I doing that today? So I give you some prompts. One is that you could show this in your art journal as a new flower coming up out of the ground and budding out. And so maybe each of those activities from your childhood would be a flower in your purpose journey garden. Or maybe one flower in each petal are the activities that you love to do as a child. Maybe you could do it as a bird nest, and each of the little bird eggs are the activities that you loved as a child, and you are the baby bird popping out of that egg. So those are just suggestions. You can come up with your own art prompt that means something to you. Maybe you would like to do just kind of an abstract thing of the shooting star in your favorite colors, moving up and having this life of joy. So that's the first panel. I will ask you to go to the third panel and visit your future elder warrioress. Now, I love this one. I want you to tap into who you feel like you would be at the age of 80 or 90 or 100, and ask that version of yourself, what would I regret not doing by the time I reach my last day on this earth? And so that can help you tap into what your purpose is if you have no idea, but it can also help you say, how do I need to evolve? So for example, I know that my purpose is to use my art and writing and speaking in art workshops to inspire others. But if I visited my future elder warrioress, she would say, why don't you turn that into a documentary where you could interview other artists or other women about their purpose journey and how that has evolved for them, and show different people in different aspects of their life. Or my future elder warrioress may say, why don't you turn it into a stage play? Wouldn't that be really neat to have these actors come out and do monologues of people who are on their journey and the challenges and the successes that they've had? Now, do I know anything about creating a documentary? No, I've watched plenty of documentaries, but I've never filmed or written a script or directed one. Do I know anything about doing a stage play? I've acted in community theater, but I have no idea about writing or directing. So my future elder warrioress would say, who do you need to meet? What skills do you need to learn to be able to do those things, to evolve toward your purpose, living it more on a higher level, and do that so you won't regret it before your last day on earth? So you may do this in your art journal, maybe through your favorite spirit animal. Maybe this, majestic hawk, or a majestic owl, a wise owl, or a really calm and peaceful and majestic elephant would be a good way to show that in your art journal and give you this message to the self that you are now. Maybe you say, I would like to do just kind of this abstract form of this elderly woman and have all these rings of beautiful light around her, symbolizing her enlightened self and all that wisdom just radiating out of her. So you can do what you want with that, but something that means something to you to symbolize that future elder warrior is coming to visit you. Now, the middle panel, we see where you are right now. And so, are you doing the things that lit you up as a child? If not, why? What's holding you back? Have you just forgotten what those activities are, or is there some limiting belief that's holding you back? So you may say, there are things I need to shed, like an outgrown snake skin. Maybe it's limiting beliefs, maybe it's fear, maybe you're just worried about what people will say. But what do you need to shed to be able to move forward? Snakes do shed their skin because their inner body has outgrown that old skin. And if they don't shed the skin, they will shrivel up and die. And so if we don't continue evolving and living our purpose, that will basically happen to us. Some part of our soul is going to shrivel up and die. So don't let that happen to you. So what do you need to shed to be able to grow and move forward? Also, what do you need to accept into your life with open palms? Sometimes we can get rid of these limiting beliefs, but it's really hard to say, okay, I'm in this receptive mode to let these blessings come into my life, this abundance flow in. So maybe draw your open palm. Maybe you could do a beautiful henna tattoo and maybe have these words, coming into the palm of things that you need to accept. So those are the 3 exercises of the art project triptych. The action sheet has 7 questions. And so one of them, I'm going to ask you to redefine your definition of success. Now, the norm definition of success is usually the paycheck, the great job, the house, the car, the perfect family, or whatever. But I have a different definition. I'm going to ask you to change your perception about what success is. Another question, I will also ask you to define your values, those things that give you a really balanced and happy and joyful life. And I have 6 values, and I give you those examples. So freedom to work on projects I love, obviously creativity. So whatever your list of values is, compare that list to your daily activities and see if they match up. And so if your daily activities aren't matching up with your values that make your life peaceful and joyful, then what can you do to kind of rework those activities to make sure that you're working in that joy that you value into your life? I'll also ask you the last question of the action sheet. What if you know what your purpose is, but you're rejecting it? Maybe some fear of, oh, I'm too old, I don't have enough money, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? They'll think I'm crazy. Those can hold you back. And so if you reject your purpose, what is the consequence to you? How does that affect your soul and your spirit and your emotions and your physical being? So I would love to know how you're responding to the art project and the action sheet. I would love to know what you're discovering and how you're evolving. So feel free to connect with me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram at Vicki World Art. And a bonus is, I would also like to invite you to join me in person for an in-person art workshop in Estoril, Portugal in September. It is September 10th through the 16th at the Art Paradise in Portugal Art Studio. So this is going to be a beautiful 7-day workshop. On the first day, we're going to extend the art journaling exercises to fill a whole day. So the art triptych project is just a little taste of what you would get with those art journaling exercises. On the first day of the workshop, we're going to expand it into a full day and really explore what your purpose is, where you are, many steps that can get you there, and where you would like to evolve to use those gifts that you are given at birth that you're meant to use to make the world more joyful for you and those around you. On day number 2, you will paint a vision canvas, and that will be based on your art journaling discoveries from day 1, and you will create this canvas with colors and power words and symbols that mean something to you to remind you to live your purpose daily. Now, as you can see, I do my visual diary or memoir portraits, so I can teach you how to paint your own expressive portrait of yourself that will have this new perception of your authentic self. Let's paint a portrait of you, not maybe a realistic portrait, but this new energy, this new vibration of knowing what your purpose is and wanting to live it. Let's paint that type of expressive portrait. On day number 3 and 4, the hostess of the art studio, Margarita, who is a beautiful soul, will take us on a day trip on day number 3, a sightseeing trip, and I will ask you to take your camera, take your notes, and with this new perception of your authentic self, I will ask you to look around and see what makes you curious and really lights you up during that sightseeing day trip. And then on day number 4, come back to the studio and paint what really lit you up. And And that could be something abstract and expressive. It could be whatever you want it to be. But what a great souvenir that you can never buy in a gift shop, right? Okay, so on day number 5 and 6, Margarita will teach us to paint a Portuguese-inspired tile, because Portugal is known for their beautiful tile work, and we'll also visit a tile factory. She is a soul collage facilitator, and so she will help us create our own unique deck of soul collage cards that represent our own unique personality and soul, which matches perfectly with the Honor Your Purpose theme. On day 7, Margarita will take us on a sightseeing trip of Lisbon. So what better way than to have a person who lives in Portugal to take us around, see the sights, smells, textures, tastes, and create this new perception of yourself, this new authentic self. I know who I am. I know what my life purpose is. And I'm ready to come home and live it and create that through the power of art. So below, along with the art project and the 7-question action sheet, I also have a PDF that gives you all the information about the Honor Your Purpose art workshop in Portugal in September. So I hope to see you there. Space is limited and the deadline to register is April 30th. And so please register. I would love to see you there. If you have any questions, please send me an email at vickiworldart, VICKI worldart@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you later. Shine on, live that purpose, and live joy. Bye.